Hey guys, today I'm showing you how you can save some stash space on Tarkov, as well as some other tips and tricks to help you guys out. Saving stash space, you got two ways really. You can use rigs, like backpacks, or you can use cases. For cases, depending how you play, probably should only need to get like 2 of each case, and then over time probably get ammo cases or mag cases, as well as items cases and weapons cases. For the weapons cases, Jaeger, pistol case, and empty fuel container. Pistol cases are 150k, empty fuel is about 80-90k. You're looking at about a mil for this straight up, 1.2 mil. And then from therapist, you can buy for euros, 15 or 16k euros, which you'll get over time, or you can trade it in for rubles. 16,000, 2.3 mil. Or you can do the trade up if you have ophthalmoscopes. If you run like Shoreline a lot or labs, you'll get this and get an items case over time. You keep all your dog tags, which I do. Over time, you'll get an items case. You need 150 level 17 or higher. For the thick case, if you play Interchange, Shoreline, labs, and you like die with one in your container, I always sell my found and raid ones. But if you get non-found and raid ones, over time this will go up and you can get a thick case. But other than cases, the way I save inventory space is with backpacks. I have a blackjack, which is about 100k to 150k, depends. You get it. There's also a trade up for ragman. 2 takedowns, which are about 30k a piece. And then in both takedowns, your case of choice at the top, money case, mags case, whatever you can fit there, ammo case. And then 2 LB rigs in each one. And LB rigs can carry, they have 2 2x2 slots, and they have double their capacity. So 18, and they only take up 9 slots. So you can just use LB rigs if you want to, but if you want to save a little bit more space, I suggest having 2 blackjacks side by side with a takedown or 2 takedowns in each one, and then inside each takedown, 2 LB rigs and whatever you want to put at the top. But that's it for the stash space, cases, and then blackjack, 2 takedowns, LB rigs. Next up I have leveling traders. For leveling traders, for therapist and Jaeger, you're just going to buy Cyclone, 53,550. It's normally always around 54k or less. If you sell the Jaeger, you're losing 3k on average. Therapist will buy it for, she buys it for 53,550. So like I said, you don't lose any money on her. You lose a little bit on Jaeger. Therapist and ragman, in my opinion, are the 2 easiest to level up, because you sell your meds to therapist and you're buying your meds from therapist, both buying and leveling, or buying and selling levels your traders. Over time in raids, you're selling your crappy armor and all the stuff you get from scav runs and stuff to ragman, so he levels up pretty quickly as well. But the best tips I can give is just therapist and Jaeger, Cyclone. If you want to level skier and mechanic, anytime you go on a raid and you get like a weapon, if you want to use it, but if you don't, scrap it, sell it to mechanic and skier, and over time you'll get mechanic and skier up. As well as on scav runs, if you do scav runs, you can just sell the weapons you get to mechanic and skier, or scrap it and sell some parts to mechanic, some parts to skier. For prapper and peacekeeper, over time you'll buy stuff from both of them, like ammo, magazines, stuff like that. The best thing you can do though, if you like want to level them up quickly, anytime your scav's available, do a quick scav run, sell everything you get that's not worth a lot on the market to either peacekeeper or to prapper that you can sell to them, and then whatever you can't sell to the other traders. Like when you do a scav run, sell your armor to ragman, sell your weapons to mechanic or skier if you can. If you can't, there's some weapons you can only sell defense, but you don't really need to level him with money. So, but that's just my leveling traders guide. For kits, I know some people like to use pistols. I just use, if I'm going budget, I'll use a shotgun. I prefer to have an automatic, but AP20 is nice to run. So I just put an 8-barrel on there. Attachment, I run the hollow, run whatever sight you want to. Then you just put this on there. You're looking at about, it's about 100k. Also, whenever you buy guns, buy the gun first, buy the gun, and then click assemble, and it'll only buy the parts you need, because a lot of times if you buy everything, you're buying stuff that's already on the gun and you're wasting like 10 to 20k. So just buy the gun first and then click assemble and buy parts, and you'll just buy the parts that are needed for that weapon. So AP-20 shotgun is the best like budget gun to use because it can kill gear people as well. Other than that, this is the AK I use. It's about 100k to 150k for me. If you don't have Trader's Max, it's probably going to be 100, like close to 200k for you. But find parts, like the gun is 44k. Assemble, buy parts, 90k. I swear it used to be cheaper. It used to be 150k, but for some reason now it used to be 100k and now it's 150k for some reason. But yeah, you can normally get some decent AKs for 100 to 150k. If you don't have max traders, I suggest whatever gun you're trying to use, just throw a decent grip on, a decent barrel, and whatever sight you want to use, and try that out. Because normally, just by throwing on a decent grip, decent barrel, your gun turns into a pretty decent gun. For example, I think this gun I have is 100k. Again, it's going to be more for you if you don't have max traders. But this is 97k. But it's going to be more for you since you don't have max traders. Probably like 150, I would assume. Because it's not like a great AK, but it gets the job done. And then for armor, the two main armors I suggest you guys use are TV rigs. If you have the money, they're 100k on average. And then if you want to go budget, 6B, it's 50k on average. And then if you want to go higher, you can use whatever. Kills armor, slick, but the best two budget armors to use, 6B and TV, because you don't have to buy armor and a rig, you're just buying a rig, and it's a 2-in-1. Another armor I use is, I used to use Zuck 3, but I like the CB a lot more, or the 6B a lot more, because this is about 30k to 20k, and then you just buy a Triton, and that's also pretty decent, but 6B is tier 4, so better to use that. And then for the market and trading, I'll have a link in the description to a trade server. You can use a middleman if you want to, but I would only trade with people that have like a good amount of rep in that server. Anytime you have an item that's not found in raid and you want to trade it, it's good for the Discord server. It's good for that. As for the market, I suggest if you guys want to make more money and save more money on the market, depending on your time zone, if you buy during the day, you'll save anywhere from 10,000 to 100,000 depending on what you're buying. On ammo, you might save a couple hundred a bullet. On cases, you might be saving a couple thousand to like 50,000. So if you buy during the day, you're saving a good amount of money, and if you're selling at night, you're making a bit more money because there's a lot more people at during the day selling than there is at night. So at night you have more buyers, less sellers, and during the day you have more sellers, less buyers. So that's just a quick market tip. For PvP and ammo, there's two main types of playstyle in this game. People that like to rat or slow play, and then people that like to chat and run around. I used to slow play. I prefer running around now. If you are alone, you'll notice that the more that you like slow play and rat, over time you'll die because the people that are running around have an advantage for most situations. Ratting can help you sometimes, but a lot of times running around gives you the advantage over the player that's sitting still. They're an easier shot. You get caught off guard too when you're sitting still versus someone who's running around. So I would suggest if you're like new and have gear fear, do some scav runs. You can make like 500k a scav run and use that money on your PMC to get better and to run around and get over the gear fear. Because I feel like you'll have a lot more fun doing that. And then also, if you notice, a lot of your deaths, if you're left peeking, you die a lot more than if you're right peeking. So whenever you're in a fight, try and take over a right peek angle and make them have to left peek you. Until they add a shoulder swap, right peeking is just overpowered. So if you're both right peeking, you have a fair fight. If one of you is right peeking and one of you is left peeking, the person who's left peeking is an easier takeout than the guy that's right peeking. And then for ammo, when it comes down to ammo, you want to use good ammo, but a lot of times you can overpen like people that have low gear. So if you're running good ammo, there'll be times where if you're going up against a good player, they might drop quickly, like someone who has good armor. And then if you're going up against a person that doesn't have good armor, sometimes they'll tank. Tarkov's just really weird. You could drop someone that has good armor quickly, and then someone who has like shit armor could somehow tank like good bullets. It doesn't really make sense, but it does happen. Like sometimes you want to use a mixture like in between. I just use good ammo because a lot of people right now are running Altons or Rise Ts. But if they don't got an Alton or Rise T, the ammo, as long as it's not like the shittiest ammo, it doesn't really matter. Like when it comes down to shotguns, AP20 is the way to go. When it comes down to MP7s, you want to use AP or FMJ for sure. When it comes down to 5.5 AKs, I use a Golnik and BS if I have it, but I prefer to buy PP because it's cheap and it gets the job done. Unless they have an Alton or Rise T, you're going to be in for a ride, but if they don't have that, you're chilling. A headshot's a headshot. They normally drop. Unless you're using shitty ammo, people sometimes can't take a headshot. Or if you top of the head them, obviously they can take one there too. When it comes down to 7.62, you use BP. You can unlock proper trade up, but the market price is always around 1,000 since there is a trader that sells the ammo. If you're using MP5 ammo, you want to use AP 6.3, or you want to use, where they changed the name of it. I don't remember what they changed. Here it is. This is the best ammo to use for MP5s or 9x19. AP is the second best. And then if you want to go cheap, I believe RIP ammo. It's 400 a bullet. If you're going to use this ammo, go for arms, go for legs. If someone's rushing with an Alton, you have an MP5 with 50 round mag, and you blast them with the RIP ammo in the leg. Best thing to use, honestly. If you're going to use an MP5, I'd use RIP ammo out of any ammo and aim for arms and legs. And then if you're going to use a Val or a VSS, BP or SPP is the way you want to go. But you could go SP6 if you want to go budget. That's just like a quick ammo guide. That's just what I use. Use whatever you want. Like I said, if you want to go budget, go budget. If you want to go expensive, go expensive. Using good ammo is really good, but like I said, sometimes you might drop a guy that's super geared like that, and then it might take a minute to kill a guy who's like has no armor or is low geared. It's just bullets in this game are weird. But next up I have getting better as a new player. I mean, that's kind of it too. Just scav run, make money, use that money to just get over gear fear and like run around and get like used to the PvP in the game. If you want to rat, you can rat. If you want to like run around and chat, you can chat. It's just how you want to play the game. Some people do both. Some people just chat. Some people just rat. Play it how you want. But if you want to get better, just scav runs, make money. Play customs. Customs is a really good map to start out on. You also have a lot of tasks there. And I mean, that's pretty much it. That and then the PvP thing I said. Try and do right peak fights more. Anytime you're fighting, try and take the vantage point, which is a right peak. Next up, I have insurance. It depends what you're running. Labs doesn't have insurance. Don't insure if you're going labs. You can't insure on that map. It'll let you, but you won't get your stuff back if you die. And if someone takes it or doesn't take it out. Depending how much your insurance is where it's like worth it or not to do it. Because most of the time, people are going to get your stuff out of the raid. It really depends on the map you're playing and the gear you're running. If you are going to insure, it's really expensive. I would just insure your gun and armor, or like either or, whichever you prefer more. If you're running like good armor, I'm assuming you're also running a good gun. Just insure your gun and armor, but that's about 100k or more. Like the insurance is really high this wipe, so not many people insure. And then what maps to play and for making roubles, I can give you guys a quick guide. Let me pull up my window. Alright, so for customs, for making money on customs, you're going to want to go dorms and loot the jackets. I have a customs guide. I don't have a guide for every map yet, but I do for customs. Just run to dorms, loot all the keys, loot marked. If you get like a 500k key and you get something good from marked, the car extract if it's there, it's, I believe, I can't remember because it's different for me. I think it's 7,000 rubles. For me, it's like 8,000 something because of scav karma. Fortress and dorms are the two main places you're going to be looting, and they're the two most contested areas. We also got gas station where the boss spawns. He also spawns in dorms. I normally just loot dorms, and if I get something good, leave. If I don't, I'll loot the stashes and then leave. If you spawn on ZB11 side or 1011, you're going to be taking dorms extract or smuggler's boat. If neither of these are there, you got to go to crossroads. But normally these will be here. One of them will be. If you spawn on Big Red side or aka Crossroads side, you're going to be taking dorms extract, or if that's closed, you're going to be taking ZB 1011. Unless you want to take Fortress, but I never do. And that's just a quick guide for customs. You got stashes, dorms, and Fortress. And then for interchange, it's basically just railway exit, Intercom exit, and then everyone's pretty much just going inside, looting tech stores and leaving. On this map, you're either doing tasks or you're hitting tech stores and you're leaving. You got hole in the wall extract right here. You can only have a rig. If you're farming interchange, I suggest it's just, I mean, if you want to take a big rig to leave here, you're going to go with a backpack. You got to go up to railway or you got to come down to Intercom. But yeah, the interchange, I do have an interchange loot guide. You just loot in tech stores. I have how to leave at 11 star, but if you want to, railway and Intercom. Interchange is a good map for loot. Reserve, I don't play it often. I don't have a loot guide. I eventually will. But you need a red rebel and a paracord, and you can leave at cliff descent, or you have to go down to D2. Both are camped highly, but D2's camped more, but people are doing shooterboard in heaven at cliff descent a lot, so they're both camped kind of evenly at the moment until everyone does shooter. But it's nice to have both options open. So if you camp that one, you can run to the other one. Reserve, I gotta play a little bit more to give you guys a good loot guide, but I normally just loot boss area and the tech room, go underground, or I loot the other tech store, go underground, hit power, fight anyone down there, kill the raiders there, and then I just run down to D2 and leave normally. Reserve's a quick map for me. Woods, I don't have a woods guide yet. I don't play woods often. Woods is a stash map. You're either coming here to kill Sturman, or you're coming here to farm stashes and leave. I know a lot of people make a good amount of money doing stash runs on woods. I'm just not a fan of it, but if you like open maps or the woods map, go for it. Shoreline, I would have said was the best map to play 2 wipes ago, but with the nerfs and Letexes not being worth anything, plus not spawning as much as they did, it's not really worth it. I know there's an event going on Reserve or Shoreline right now, so I might give it a try. But on this map, you're basically just going to the resort and you're looting for key cards and meds and food. If you play Shoreline, you're coming here for foods, meds, key cards. That's it. So if you don't need that stuff, it's not really worth it to come here. Sometimes you might have good PvP, but yeah, it's mostly just for key card farming or if you're low on food or meds. That's just a quick map guide. Like I have map guides for some of them, like customs and interchange and Shoreline. I do. For the other maps, I do not yet. Next up, servers. For servers, just I suggest play on auto. If you play labs or interchange, try 1 to 2 servers. Labs only play 1 server. Like you're gonna get cheaters a lot, so just play 1 server. But for interchange, you can try 2 servers. Yeah, that's just a real quick server guide. Play on auto unless you're playing labs, in my opinion, and then just play on 1 server and try and find a server that doesn't have many cheaters on it. Next up, I have postfx and settings for you guys. I'm gonna show you guys my settings in my postfx. I have labs postfx on right now, so just keep that in mind. These are my settings. I don't need to show you all like the controls, but that's just my settings. This postfx is for dark maps like either Interchange or Labs. I tried landmarks. I like his for I used to use his for maps that weren't inside, like customs or Shoreline. I mean, that's kind of the only two maps really. Every other map you're inside for the most part. So I just always use this, but if you want to, you can try his out. I don't have his, but you can just look it up. I suggest trying it for outside. This is going to be really bright if you use it on outside. I still do use it, but not everyone's going to be a fan. Just give it a shot and see how you like it. And then real quick, in the hideout for getting, I forgot to mention this earlier, but for getting better at aiming, offline mode and using your firing range. You can also go in from the side right here, but just use firing range. I have night vision. I was trying to take off my mask, but just use the firing range to try and get better with aim, and also try offline mode. But yeah, that's just my real quick video. It was longer than I wanted it to be. I was trying to make a quick 15-minute video, but I'm doing unedited, so it took a bit longer. But still, nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions that I missed, leave it in the comments. I'll be sure to answer it. But I appreciate you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, I would appreciate it if you left a like. If you guys would like to see more Tarkov content or PvP content, consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.